Mr. James Brown to open it up. We're streaming audio online all over the nation. www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in, 94.3 on the FM band in your radio sets right here in Mumbai City. Statutory warning only if you're not driving or in the backseat of a radio taxi, a chauffeur-driven car at home, at work, and you want to stream some video. We're streaming video live as we speak. Facebook.com/radio1.mum, RADIOONE.mum. Some friends, old and new, in studio. Hang by for an hour of discussion.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
D-Wood, my friend. How you doing, brother?
Great to be back in the saddle with you, man.
Yeah, awesome. How's the bass guitar doing?
It's going. Keep practicing every day.
Lovely. And the voiceovers?
That's flying.
Flying. Lovely. Karim Ellaboudi.
Hi.
You know, in India, you would say Ellaboudi.
Ellaboudi.
Ellaboudi. Beautiful. Karim Ellaboudi. Welcome to the show for the very first time.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And Niloufer Rohira, hello, how are you?
Hi, Hrishi. Nice to be here. Very well, thank you.
Now, the reason these fine people are here is on the 9th of November at St. Andrews in Bandra is a wonderful festival for the love of music. It's part of Streamin Live, and we're going to talk about it. Tickets are at Book My Show. Go get yourself some tickets. You might have an opportunity here also to win yourself some passes. Now, this is not just a one-off event. It's your first anniversary. What is Streamin Live all about, Niloufer?
Okay, so Hrishi, just to give you a bit of background, I'm from the hospitality industry. I've been with the Taj for about 10 years, started my own corporate housekeeping company after that. Sold that a few years ago and kind of went into semi-retirement and then thought I was too young to do that. So decided to do something that I enjoyed. Music has always been a passion. And started voice training actually, started with that. Started going to gigs, meeting musicians and stuff like that. And then I wasn't too happy with the platform that live Western musicians had in this country. There seemed to be some kind of a gap that needed to be bridged between, you know, the musicians and the promoters and the platforms they had, venues. People needed to be more aware of, you know, the talent, the genius, the hard work that kind of went into this kind of music. And so, you know, I was upset about it and I said, let me do something about it. And that's where the idea of Streamin Live kind of came from. And Karim actually was one of the first people I met, and he helped me a great deal in putting this whole thing together. There were other friends, of course, who were on board as well, and that's how Streamin Live happened last year in November. So we started off with, I have to mention Veranda Bandra here. It was one of our first venues, our first gigs. And we've had a lot of support from various venues, corporates, and, you know, it's really been quite wonderful. And I'd like to think we have taken baby steps, let me put it that way. And there has been an improvement in the music scene, not just due to Streamin Live, but overall. You know, there are new venues. You've got the Quarter, which is, again, a venue, a newish venue. So lots of places like that. So it's heartening. I'm hopeful that, you know, the music scene has been bettered in the last 1 year, and we will do better in the years to come.
Dee, are you seeing new people come in every time you have an event? I know the usual suspects will be there. The tribe, is it increasing, is my question to you.
Well, from our perspective, since the advent of Book My Show, our programs are pretty much running full at our studio, our music studio in Bandra, and there's just so much more interactivity going on, lines of communications opening up, and there's a whole new baby being born, so to speak, in that people are getting more interested in musical culture and going out and being part of this emerging musical culture, international music culture in the city. So,
and Karim, is it genre specific? Do you say we're only going to have jazz acts, or is it just all kinds of genres of music, depending on the performer who is on for the night in particular?
Is what genre specific?
Is it? Do you have jazz evenings, blues evenings, or is it all kinds of music?
Or Bombay?
Streamin Live.
Oh, Streamin Live. Streamin Live. No, it's not so much genre specific. There is a lot of jazz, a lot of Latin, a lot of funk, but also a lot of retro, 60s, 70s. Really, I mean, singer-songwriter, whatever a venue. Streamin Live would provide what's required for an event. or what's required for a venue. So the idea would be saying, what do we need from the music on this occasion? Is it background? Is it foreground? Is it funky? Is it dancey? Is it to provide an atmosphere? So whatever's required from the music, then we select from any kind of music that's going to best serve that purpose, obviously. So me personally, I play some genres more than others, like you say. But I'd like to comment a little bit on some of the things that I was hearing my friends here talk about, which is the music scene. I've lived in Bombay about 14 years or something, the first 10 of which I didn't play music at all. And I played obviously in the UK as I grew up. I played professionally till I was in my mid to late 20s. But when I moved here, I didn't play music for a long time. And when I started, the music scene was pretty much almost non-existent. You know, you could count the number of people who played at a certain level on one hand, or maybe two maximum, even across. Whereas in the last 2, 3, 4 years, there's been a massive change year on year on year. And part of that has been some of the music schools, both here in Bombay as well as in Chennai, in Delhi, and so on and so forth. Such as here we have the True School, and now we have NMIMS University where I'm teaching. And that's helped to bring a lot of exposure to the youth. It's also brought in a lot of teachers from abroad and a lot of great players from abroad. The other thing is then a lot of the younger guys who in the early 20s today have been playing now they're in their late 20s. So a lot of guys from here, from India, and there's a whole scene of people in their late 20s now, which didn't exist 5 and 10 years ago in India. And similarly, along with that, as Niloufer was saying, there are more and more venues. Certainly Delhi and Bangalore both had much more of a live scene than Bombay. But in the last 2-3 years, it started off with the Little Door and Bonobo doing regular weekly events, and then quite a few other, one after the other, more venues started doing regular live music, such that today we maybe have 8, 10 or 12, maybe 15 places in Bombay that do regular weekly live music. So that has a spillover effect onto the exposure of the community who otherwise didn't have access to this kind of stuff. And of course, many of them do enjoy it. And thus it's hopefully a snowballing positive effect that's great for culture in many different ways.
The gentlest Beatle of them all, George Harrison, got my mind set on you. Back in a couple of minutes. George Harrison got my mind set on you. 11 minutes past 9 a.m. You're still streaming audio online all over the country. www.onecast.in, numeral1cast.in. You have music fans around the country who would love to listen to this conversation. Tell friends and family about it. They can log on online. 94.3 on the FM band on your radio sets right here in Mumbai City. Niloufer Rohira, Karim Ellaboudi and D Wood are in studio talking Streamin live.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
9th of November, St. Andrews. What's happening? How are you celebrating your first anniversary, Niloufer?
So Hrishi, Streamin Live in association with VH1 is presenting For the Love of Music. We have a collective of 12 musicians on the 9th of November, starting at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be quite a treat for all music lovers. The genres of music we're covering are jazz, Latin, funk, R&B. And while we're at this, I'd like to thank our associate sponsors, Privili, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Anand Rathi, Wealth Management Services, Furtado School of Music, Furtado's Music Store, Midday.com, who are our online media partners. And this entire thing has been marketed by Macaroni Media. So without these people, this wouldn't be happening. And I have to express my thanks. And, like I said, without them, this wouldn't be happening.
So 7:30 p.m. is kickoff time.
That's right.
And I'm given to understand you have 12 acts. Is that it?
Yes. We have 12 musicians,
Yeah.
not 12
Musicians.
acts. Yeah,
Okay,
we have 12
musicians.
musicians. So I'll leave it to Karim and Dee to tell you how...
Yeah, so how have you curated
So,
this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. It's an exciting event, mainly because of the fact that we have so many people on stage. It's quite usual to have events with maybe a trio or a quartet or something along those lines. And we can get or sometimes a quintet. Usually budgets are not there to have 12 people on the stage. So it's great that Niloufer, and again, thanks to all the sponsors for helping out, have been able to put this together. And we hope that it should be very worthwhile for the audience. So we have 12 people. We've got 3 of us playing keyboards, 3 of us who play bass, 3 of us who sing, as well as drums and percussion, and Shirish who plays sax and flute on the gig. So that gives us a lot of opportunity to make a big sound. A lot of tunes will feature 2, 3, and 4 keyboard players or a couple of bass players and backing vocals, and it should be a nice big event, which is quite unusual for Bombay. So we're very happy and lucky to have all of these people put this together for us.
So, do people walk in or walk out, or all 12 on stage throughout?
There's going to be different configurations of musicians. That's an interesting thing. The texture will go from small and intimate to big and magnificent. So a lot of mixing and matching.
So, Karim on piano, you on your good self on bass. Come on, tell me about some of the other musicians.
We have, like I said, 3 pianist keyboard players. There's Rahul Wadhwani, there's Clement Rooney, and there's myself who play keyboards. Singing, we have Elena and Friedrich, and we have Lydia, and we also have Shreya Bhattacharya, so 3 singers, and 3 bass players. We have Dee, as you mentioned, we have Avishek Day, and we have Abhinav Kokar. Playing drums, we have Aaron Nero, and on percussion, we have Emmanuel, and finally, we have Shirish Malhotra, who plays, amongst other things, sax and flute for this gig. So we've got a lot of different nations. We've got people from Hungary, France, Italy, Germany, Sudan, myself, the States. We got a very international band with
you can't call him, somebody from the States. You're
originally from the States. Originally from the States.
They're both desi, if I may add.
Yeah, we've lived here a long time. I've lived in other places.
I would like to be a fly on the wall when rehearsals take place, man. Have you managed to get all the artists together and do like a full-fledged rehearsal, D?
Well, we're working on it. It's a work in progress.
We had a rehearsal.
How did that go, man? How did that go, man? Yeah.
It's a real difficult thing getting musicians in the house together because there's just so many demands. It was kind of a miracle that we had as many people in the house yesterday as we did.
So what's the playlist, the set list looking like, man?
As Niloufer said, there'll be some jazz, but less straight jazz. Again, because we've got a big ensemble, we're going to try and use that opportunity. So there'll be some old school sort of soul stuff. There'll be some funk. There'll be some R&B. There'll be some Latin, salsa, big arrangements. It'll be quite eclectic in that respect. There'll be quite a few tunes that people can sing along to, maybe. So
there'll be some popular music as well, so that the audience, there's a little bit for everybody in the audience.
And I imagine lots of it will just have a life of its own. You guys will start something and then it just keeps flowing. There's a bit of that too. You've left enough space for that.
It's pretty scripted. However, within that, there's a lot of room for improvisation and moving things along. But we have a pretty tight repertoire coming up.
Karim,
that's my definition of jazz. I think that's an interesting topic for a show like this, is what is jazz? Some people define it as genre styles of music. I personally define it as an approach to creation of music, which could be in many different styles. It could be hip-hop, but done with jazz. It could be poetry. It doesn't necessarily have to be music. So the degree of improvisation really is the degree to which a music is jazz.
Sure.
And we definitely have lots of improvisation going on, but with 12 musicians and with pop songs and arrangements like that, we can't leave it all to improvisation. So there'll be, as Dee rightly said, a lot of it is scripted, a lot of it is ensemble, but there'll be big sections for improvisation and that kind of stuff as well.
We're going to take some messages and come back with the good people from Streamin Live. Tickets at Book My Show. And after these messages and some music, an opportunity for you to win yourself couple passes right here. So don't go anywhere. Classic rock, man. Counting Crows. Along with Sheryl Crow, that's American Girls. 9:29, Karim Ellaboudi, Dawood and Niloufer Rohira are in studio Streamin Live. November 9th at St. Andrews. 12 ace musicians getting together to do some magic on stage. Tickets are at Book My Show. And of course, now, if you win this contest.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
These kind people have agreed to give away 5 couple passes. Yeah, so we're going to pick 5 winners. Karim, contest question.
How many keys are there on a grand piano? 88 or 96?
How many keys are there in a grand piano? 88. Now, WhatsApp, the number is very easy to remember. The last 3 digits are our frequency, 94.3. So 99 677 43943. 99677 43943. 943. On Twitter as well as Facebook, you go to the search bar, you type HRISHIKAY, I'll pop up. You tweet out with your name, you post in the timeline inbox with your name, and finally facebook.com/radio1.mu, our official page. You can pop the answer on the timeline along with your name. You just pick one of those numbers and you pop it there, and maybe you and a partner will be going to St. Andrews on the 9th. See, the idea is that you go with your partner, but make sure the entire group of friends goes, and the rest of them go to book my show and buy their tickets. Yeah, so get cracking on that one. Niloufer, let's do a bit of look back over the shoulder. It's been an eventful year, memorable gigs, and stuff that you witnessed at Streamin Live.
Yeah, Hrishi. So we started off at Veranda Bandra. Karim introduced me to them, and they gave us the opportunity. It isn't easy to get work, in Bombay when you're new, when you haven't been in the community for a long time. So I have to express my appreciation there. And we used to do the late night jazz there, which started at 11 p.m. I think we used to do it twice a month. And that was very successful. We had kind of a mixed crowd coming in. And then, by word of mouth, we started doing drifters at Kamla Mills. We were there for 3 months. We did a Sunday brunch every afternoon. Memorable was really Boteco, the Brazilian restaurant in Pune. I have to thank Guto for that. It was really great. Every Friday, we were there, Karim, 2 months? Yeah, every Friday, 2 months, and it was a lovely atmosphere, great people, great ambience, appreciative audience, really very nice. We've also done a lot of private stuff. We're doing a great event on the 3rd of November for Diosa Jewels, actually, at Amadeus, NCPA, jazz, 7 musicians there, Karim curating the music for that event as well, and of course our own event on the 9th of November at St. Andrews. We've done some corporate stuff for Lodhas, which has been really, nice. Again, appreciative audience. And there's one thing I'd like to say here, everybody appreciates music. It makes our lives fuller, richer, and all of that. But not just in India, but all over the world, I think musicians need to be appreciated a little more. They need to be compensated better. People need to recognize the hard work, the rehearsal, everything that goes into making a gig what it eventually turns out to be. It's easy to go sit in an audience, applaud and go home and, enjoy the music and go home. But I think corporates, individuals need to recognize the talent, the genius, the work that goes into it. And these guys, I think, need a lot more respect than they get.
Well, she's being kind. The word that comes to your mind, Karim, is exploited.
Well, that was in a slightly different context.
That one.
In a slightly different context. What I was saying was that when we were discussing while the music was playing, was that music is undervalued in general, and very much so here in the culture that I live. So much so that it's pretty much absent in the education system. So it's undervalued in that most people, I should say, or the majority of people, don't really understand the plethora of benefits that you get from it, which may or may not relate to actually playing music. It's in terms of maths, physics, in terms of coordination, in terms of left and right brain working in harmony, simply how our neurons and our brains connect. There's a lot of research on this, but without needing that research, I see it when I see people who've been playing music for decades and how they apply themselves to different things. So it's undervalued, and not only that, so where the term exploitation came was we were talking about the fact that many musicians are doing things for the sake of an art, and they're not thinking commercially. Yet most enterprises or events are commercial ventures of one nature or another. So they are thinking commercially, and thus musicians often end up being exploited. So thus a lot of musicians are asked to play for free. Because at many different events where the venue will be getting paid, the people working there will be getting paid, pretty much every component of the event is being compensated, and all of them are there to see the music, yet the people on the stage are being told how they don't have enough budget to do this, whereas actually it's the primary focus of the whole event. So it's very ironic, and many musicians are not even aware of the fact, because like I said, they're not thinking commercially. They're they're thinking artistically.
I'm going to bring D Wood into this discussion because he's also an academician in that sense, tutoring, teaching music. But Niloufer, if people want to be part of this tribe, be part of Streamin Live, where can they go? Where can they join?
So we have a Facebook page, which is Streamin Live. You can just go there. You'll see all the gigs we're doing, any news regarding the company. We're also on Instagram at Streamin Live India. So please, guys, log in and, be a part of this community. Encourage us, support us, because, without you, we're really nothing.
It is Streamin. There's no
Streamin
G.
Live.
It's
That's
Streamin Live, yeah? Mambo number 5, Lou Bega, back in a couple of minutes.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
At 9:47, a last leg of conversation with the Streamin Live people. November 9th at the St. Andrews. Tickets at Book My Show. 12 ace musicians come together to create magic on stage. Karim Ellaboudi Niloufer Rohira and D would have been talking to me about that. And of course, subsidiary things that are so important. And D, as an academician, as somebody who tutors and teaches music, you agree with what Karim was saying just a few minutes ago about people who are educated in music have a different worldview, and neurological tests have proven so.
Yeah, we know all about the cognitive advantages of music, as well as the social, just learning how to interact with people and share and take turns and be sensitive to the nuances of each other. What I know from my work at Whistling Woods International, and Karim will agree with me, working in the world of academics, is that in India, I think the tipping point is that when degree courses in music, international music, have come online, all of a sudden music has become respectable for families that have to make choices about education, and with a degree available to study, people are much more willing to go that route. So we have so many more kids who are able to study music as a profession because of the degree factor. If it doesn't work out, one still has a degree to move forward with. So that's been a real game changer in terms of music culture in this country.
Many congratulations, the 5 of you. You were quick on the uptake. You replied on WhatsApp as well as social networking. Vian Pereira, your last 4 digits are 9593. Suyash, your last 4 digits are 1439. Akshay Raje, your last 4 digits are 8541. Tatiana, your last 4 digits are 5297. Ivan Crasto, we've written to you on Twitter asking for you to direct message your number, so we're waiting for that. But Ivan Crasto, many congratulations. All of you, Crystal from Radio 1 Contest will call you, get your address, and make sure that this couple pass reaches you. And see you on November 9th at St. Andrews at the show. Niloufer, famous last words.
Well, Hrishi, before we leave, I'd like to invite listeners again to our Facebook page, Streamin Live, Instagram, Streamin Live India. You'll know about all the gigs coming up. We have one on the 16th of November. We have one on the 30th of November, both at 266, the Wine Room and Bar at Bandra. Of course, what we've been talking about, November 9th at St. Andrews. Tickets available on Book My Show. The event is called For the Love of Music. It's our collective of 12 musicians, and it's going to be very special. Can't go without saying thank you to our sponsors. Again, Streamin Live in association with VH1 presenting the event. Our associate sponsors, Privy League, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Anand Rathi Wealth Management Services, Furtado's School of Music, Furtado's Music Store. Midday are our online media partners, and of course this event has been marketed by Macaroni Media.
Karim, see you at the show, man.
Hope to see you there, Hrishi. Thanks.
Cheers. D, thank you for rolling by, buddy.
Thank you, Hrishi.
Thank you, Hrishi.
Bye,
Thank you
Niloufer.
for having us this morning.
Liam Payne, Jonas Blue Polaroid.